it's Chef Hannah with Memorial Health System, and we're at the Change Plate restaurant today, and we're going to be making a pasta Primavera. So the first thing we kind of want to talk about with our pasta Primavera is we're using a whole wheat pasta today. But if you don't want to use a whole wheat pasta, there's plenty of legume-based pastas out there that you can try. There's some with some lentils. I think you can find some with some garbanzo beans or chickpeas. And that's a good alternative if you're trying to avoid some of the extra wheat and stuff in your diet. And the other thing I want to talk about is our recipe for pasta Primavera serves like 6 to 8 people. So that's a whole lot of people to be serving if it's only like maybe just you at home, or if it's just you and like one other person. So we're going to kind of talk about slimming it down a little bit to maybe just 1 to 2 servings. That way you can kind of see what it looks like as it's going, and not just one like giant pasta dish as you're going. So to kind of cover everything that we've got, we have all of our ingredients out already. So we've got our pasta, we have our kidney beans, we've got some basil, we've got some garlic, we've got our veggies, we've got some frozen greens, some onions, some tomatoes, and we're going to bring this all together to make a Primavera. So we've used some frozen vegetables that have been thawed for our veggie blend over here, our broccoli, cauliflower, and carrots, kind of a California blend. And then we've got some frozen greens over here as well. So if you wanted to, you could use fresh vegetables, but it's going to take just a little bit longer to cook because they're going to be a little bit tougher. When your produce has been frozen like this, it tends to be a little bit softer once it comes out of the freezer. So without any further ado, we'll go ahead and get started. So you're going to notice that I've already got our pasta's already cooked up. So this is the amount of pasta that would be for 8 people. If you wanted to, if you were into like meal prepping and things like that, you can cook your pasta ahead of time and then shock it and cool it using a little bit of ice and run in cold water once you've strained it off. And then you can put it in the cooler or in the refrigerator and then just pull out what you need. So we're going to just start off by making a portion for 1 or 2. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get our onions down here in this pan. And then we're going to put our garlic down in here as well. So we're just going to let these kind of sizzle and start to get a little bit tender. We're going to let these cook, the onions cook down just a little bit, because sometimes they can be a little bit harsh when they're still raw. So cooking them kind of helps mellow their like initial raw bitey flavor out, and then it'll kind of act to sort of sweeten it up a little bit too. So as we've got this going, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to bring in some of our veggies. Some of our sauce. So as we've got this going, then we're going to go ahead and add in some of our pasta, as our veggies are getting nice and tender here. So we're only going to want to serve pasta for 1 to 2 people. So we're just going to throw in just a little bit right here. So you can see our dish is primarily vegetables, which is what we want. We want to be eating a whole lot of veggies in our diet. They're really good for you. So we're going to put some of our kidney beans in here. And we're kind of putting these in towards the end because the more you stir around your kidney beans as you're going, the more likely they are to want to mush. We're using a dark red kidney bean today. We have drained and we have rinsed them. So we don't have any of that extra like bean goo that's down in the pan. So once this is all tossed together, you can see it's kind of got some of that tomato sauce all over the place. This is kind of where we are with it. And then at the end, we want to finish it with some of our fresh spices. So we've got a little bit of basil in here. And I like to kind of tear my basil into there. That way it's a little bit more rustic. One of the things that you can kind of do to help bring some of the flavor out with your fresh herbs is if you take them, you set it out on your hand, and then you kind of like smack it like that. It's going to break down all the cells in the leaf, and it's going to make it a little bit more aromatic, and the oils and stuff that are in the herb is going to come out a little bit better for you in your dish. So now that we've got that kind of broke up, we're just going to kind of tear it in here. Stir that around. A little bit of parsley to taste. And now that we've got that all stirred up, we're going to be ready to plate. And we're just going to finish it with a little bit more parsley. And there we go. Some vegetable primavera.